Good afternoon. It's abstract time. Abstract time today. I thought we would mix it up a bit. I love doing abstracts and I very rarely get time to do any. So what better chance to do it than with you today on this lovely sunny day again. We're being blessed with the sunshine. Let me know if you're there. Just why I'm playing around with my equipment as usual. One day this will work first time, but we'll see. Let's see if anyone's joined. I'm mixing it up today with some abstract. Let me know if you're there. Give me a wave. Give me a sign. Just scrolling on my phone to see if I can see anybody. Ah, Linda's there. Hello, Linda. Hiya, Linda. How's your horse going? You still working on it? I'm just going to come into a different screen of mine, see if I can see this. It's really good if I have the live feed going on my phone, because then I can see the questions and hellos and just general chit chat that you're making with me. So there we go. I've got it. I found it. 15 of you on. Okay. Excellent. That's a good start, isn't it? I'll just turn my phone down so I don't get the... It's really weird when I see it on the phone because you're so far behind where I am. Hilary and Joy are watching. Linda, Hilary, Joy, Sally, Karen. Hi, everybody. So I've got the camera at the moment on this abstract that I did a while ago. I never quite finished. It's got some pink tones coming in the corners here, going across. People that see it say it looks like crack down the Middle Earth or something like that. So this was created using very gentle blending of colours in the background and then brushwork over the top to create these cracks and lines. I like the colours, but it's not one of my favourite pieces. And then I have over here, just turn the camera around, this one. That really is as bright as it looks on the camera. It's like this halo of light coming through. And then again, I seem to like these purple and blue tones coming in. So this is quite a large piece, as you can see. I'll say hello. Hello. So I think that's 20 by 16, something like that. Again, all brushwork, no palette knife in that. So just blending the colours, using multiple colours at once on the brush and getting that down. So I thought I'd put those two up to show you. Let me just turn around. You're painting your hall today. Ah, excellent. Right, let me just position the camera back. I shall remove these to a safe place because I am a messy painter and I will splatter them and they'll become more abstract than they were intending to be. This is a canvas that I'm reusing. You might be able to see. This was actually the tree scene that I did last week, no, the week before, and I wasn't quite happy with it. So, hello, Gay. Hi, Pam. Yeah, so I've painted over it. I'll do a tree scene again another day, but I wasn't particularly overjoyed with it. So, here we go. So, abstract is harder than people think. They'll look in a gallery and some people don't quite get abstract and they're like, oh yeah, what's it all about? Well, it isn't really about, anyway, in my head, it's not about anything other than a sense of movement, a sense of colour. So a painting that I sold before, previously, a couple of years ago, was the one that I put up. Can you see that on my iPad? So real sense of movement and some use of geometry in the painting as well. So I want to show you that today. So I want to do something similar colours. I like the turquoise and orange, little bits of yellow ochre, how they all work together. So I'm just going to plonk that down there as a guide to my memory. Okay, so I've squeezed out my paints on the canvas. These are acrylics. So here's my orange, my turquoise. I've got a bit of burnt umber here, some yellow ochre and some sienna hiding under there that's drying up a little, black and white. So those are the colours that I plan to use. Anything could happen today, guys, because I'm just going to go with the flow with what's happening on the canvas. I will be using palette knives today as well, so I've got set different palette knives are going to come out to play, and I'm using a couple of flat brushes, mostly large. Hello Jojif. Hello Linda. Let me just have a swig of my tea before I start mixing up this background. So there are some lumps and bumps on my canvas from the tree one that I did, because I was working in pasto, particularly in the foreground, but I'm okay with that. More lumps, more bumps, the better. You can actually buy a paste if you like to have texture on your canvas that you can put on your canvas first, and I've done that in the past. I have some paste over there. If you really like the textured look of your abstracts, why not add some gel? So this is gel medium. This is a Liquitex one. I've got 2 jars, don't know why, and I've got a Galleria one. Both the same, heavy structured gel. Now basically what this is what your paint is mixed in when you buy it in the tube. So it's just white. Can you see that? And it will just add, it's like frosting on a cake. So if I just pop my palette knife in there and lift it up, you'll get a real stiff peak there on the paint. It will really lift and stay. Now paint will do that as well, depending on which paint you've got. Now I'm using a mixture of Sennelier and Studio by Pebeo. They're both soft body paints, so they're not really meant for the paint to stand out, but it will do so if applied correctly. But if you want your paint even thicker and more texture, then just mix some of this gel, heavy structure gel, into your paint. It won't change the colour, very slightly, but it will give you the peaks that you want. So, okay, I'm going to get cracking. So I've got some of that gel here. I'm just going to paint my background. Now I want my background to really be a mixture of the colours that are going, whoops, I just picked up the gel instead of the white paint. So I'm going to start, remember with acrylics you want a nice wet brush. So I'm just laying some white in the corner of my canvas. I want you to be loose here, guys. So if you're going to do this, if you're painting along or you're going to have a go later, get your long handled brushes and stand back from your canvas. I'm holding quite a way back here. Could go further back. Okay, so I'm going to start with some white, and then I'm going to start laying. I'm going to pick up my brown, and I'm going to work some of this brown into the white. I really want it to blend in to that white and give it a creamy, milky background. There's not going to be a huge amount of brown in the colourful section of my painting. I'm just going to work that in. I'm going to let streaks sit there. I love the way the paint blends and you get these lines, different tones come through. Overall, what I want to achieve is a sense of movement. I want this swoosh. Swoosh is a good word. I want a swoosh coming across my canvas today, guys. Keep my brush nice and wet. It was starting to feel a bit tight there. I just love the feel of this paint, even over an old canvas with lots of knobbles and bumps on it. I just love the feel of getting that fresh paint on a white canvas. There's nothing like it. Getting rid of that whiteness, that scary moment, and just going for it. Go with what colours are in your head, what you fancy putting down. Now, bringing the geometry into it was something relatively new for me. There was a guy called, gosh, what's his name? He's all over YouTube. Ray Grimes, I think his name is. He uses, he does lots of abstract. In fact, I think that's all he does. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me. But he does a lot of abstract videos on YouTube, and he uses geometry within his. So you've got these soft, oops, I had a bit of paper there, soft sweeping marks from the brushwork mixed, or should I say that very arty word, juxtaposed with the geometry. There we go. Can you see this? Getting a sense of movement, this swooshy motion. Right, I'm going to bring some blue in now. I've got enough of that brown going on. So I'm just going to pick up some of my turquoise and I'm going to gently work it in. I don't want it to blend. I don't know. Let's see where we go. I was about to say I don't want it to blend completely, but this is the background. I quite like this colour with the brown. What do you think? That blue with the brown is rather pretty, isn't it? It's like a duck egg. Duck egg blue and brown. That was all the vogue a few years ago. Everyone was decorating their bedrooms with duck egg blue. Maybe you've got a duck egg blue bedroom now. Mine's a soft green, just in case you're wondering. Very soft mossy green. Very calming. Okay, so I'm carrying on with this motion, this loop, this swoosh of the brush. What fun. What would you rather be doing on, what day is it? Tuesday. Other than getting your acrylic paints out. It doesn't have to be acrylic paints. But to get this sort of sense of texture that I'm going for, then yeah, it really is. You could use oils, of course, but it's not really a watercolour. I've done some lovely abstracts in watercolour, that said, but obviously not textured. I'm just covering these bumpy bits here that are left from my tree painting. How many we got on? 16. Not so many people interested in abstracts. Well, they're missing a trick, really. You need to sometimes just let go and have some fun with your paints. Have some experiments. See what colours work well together. Yeah, not everybody gets abstract. I'm going to bring a bit more white through there. Still got this swoosh motion. I love that word. It's my word of the day. Your challenge is to use the word swoosh in your everyday conversations today. What do you think? Swoosh. It's a happy word. Okay. There we go. I'm going to also bring some yellow ochre into this background. I said I'm just going to go with what I feel, and I feel yellow ochre. I'm not washing my brush out. I'm just using what's on the brush, letting it mix. I just like the warmth of the yellow ochre coming through in places here and some here. Sort of a sense of balance. Bringing the ochre here. Now my paint is getting a bit tacky. It's a warm day. That will affect how quick your paint dries. Just nice sweeping strokes. Getting this lovely ochre colour in. Add a bit more warmth. So we've got the brown, we've got the white, we've got the turquoise. We've now got the ochre coming in. I'm really going to beat this out. So I'm getting some marks from the canvas. Because I'm reusing an old canvas, I really need to use quite a lot of pressure just to make sure I don't have white bits of canvas showing through. So I'm really beating this back, quite forceful with my brush marks to get this blend. Now, let me bring the camera a little bit closer and see if you can see what I'm on about here. Down this corner, can you see how nicely it's blended and softened? In places I want it misty like that, and others I'm quite happy to have the lines shown through. So I'll do the same up here. Let me move the camera back again so you can see the whole canvas. There we go. Bit more water on my brush up this top corner. So now I'm really pushing those colours together. I need to wet my brush again because these colours have started to dry, but I can still reactivate it. I'm really pushing those in to get more of a blended background. See how it blends together? So if you want it really soft and smoky and cloud-like, here, and it's just reminded me, I was coming up the stairs to my studio this morning, and I have a painting in the hallway of a midnight sky. I'll grab it. Bear with me. Please wait. Don't go away. Don't go away. Right. Here we go. So this one is a very stormy sky and choppy sea. Hopefully you can see that. Which way should I turn it? And the moon, clouds, very dark. I'm thinking of doing an online lesson for this one, So that won't be one of the free tutorials. It'll be a paid for virtual classroom. But yeah, it just reminded me of doing the background, doing the misty kind of cloud scene. It's a very similar technique to what I'm using here. Okay, that's my background in place. Other than I've just seen another spot of canvas come through. Yeah, I've got paintings all over my house. I need to have a push on them actually, try and sell some. I've not even got that one on my website. I was going to have that printed onto one of my mugs and call it Steam in the Teacup, even though it's a mug, but you get why I'm going. Okay, so that's my background. It's the week of coffee. My sheep mug. Okay, palette knife time. Fun, fun, fun. I'm going to start with my long, thin palette knife. Okay, and I'm just going to, what I want is to add some really bold colours over the top of this blended background, and I want to carry on with this sense of movement. I'm going to start by putting my black down. I tend to work dark. I'll put my shadows in. This isn't shadows as such. I'm just going to push my palette knife on and drag it. Drag, push, pull. I don't want to disturb the painting underneath, which hasn't dried. You could wait until it's dried underneath. Just going to put it on and drag. On one side. Now I've not put any structure gel in this, but it's standing really peaky. I don't need to add that in there. I'm going to come through this middle section. Just scraping it over the, quite like that broken up bit there. Okay, with some movements and black coming up here. Just pushing it on really thickly, use the edge of my knife, scrape it. Get this sense of movement. There we go. I think for now, that's quite balanced. I have a bit more black coming up here. There we go. I'm just getting these sort of central points of balance. Just clean off my palette knife. Okay, the trick is when you're working with your palette knife, not to push too hard once you start bringing the other colours over the top. Otherwise it will blend too much. You don't want it blending. You really want these colours to pour and sit together, but not blend as such. So I'm putting my yellow ochre on here. I'm going to use the end of my knife to scrape that through. So I'm scraping it. There's elements that have come over the black, but I don't want to overwork that. I'm going to bring some more yellow ochre in here. Now my knife has picked up some of the black. You see what's happened here? Which is okay, it's abstract. But if you don't want that, just clean your knife out in between strokes. I'm just going to pop on my yellow ochre here. I'm going to drag it through and off to the side. There we go. Getting that sense of motion. When I sold this one, the couple that bought it were looking at it and they could see all sorts. There's a man I can see him now looking at the picture on my iPad. There's a man, have a look back at the picture that I put on Facebook for this lesson, and you will see a little man directing traffic with a kind of Hitler moustache, and you might also see a taxi. So you might see a taxi going through. It's funny what people see in abstracts. And then when they start telling you what they see, you see it too. So I'm just going to stroke that through. And I'm going to stroke this yellow ochre here. I want it to come off and up that side. Sense of movement. Okay. So, actually I should have gone brown next. I jumped into yellow ochre, but I'm going to add a few areas of brown in here. Just scrape those on. Back, scrape it through. A shopwreck, nice beachy colours. Yeah, kinda. Won't be beachy in a minute. A shipwreck. Yes, Hilary, I can see a shipwreck. What, in this one or in the one that I posted? Really scraping that paint over. I've just seen an area where I want some more yellow ochre down here. I'm just going to bring that in. Okay. I want some red in this as well. I forgot to squeeze some red out. I'm just going to grab some red out of my goodie bag. Just going to use a little bit of red in places. So not too much, just a little red. I want to bring the red in next. Bring some red into this red area here, the black area. And that's changed it up a bit, hasn't it? A boat with a reflection and a bird on top of the post. Oh my God, there is a bird on top of the post. Ah, you guys are funny. Okay, there's my red. Orange next. My bright, vibrant orange. Love this colour. Get a shocking orange in here. I'm not really, other than thinking where I want these colours to sit, there's not a whole lot more going in my head at this time. Just a direction, add in that colour. I'm going to bring some yellow. You see, I told you this wouldn't go to plan. I'm changing my mind as I go. I'm going to bring some yellow in. What yellow do I want? Primary yellow. Primary yellow. I want that to sit over the top of my orange. Because that orange is a bit brighter than I wanted. I'm going to bring this yellow and I'm going to mix that in. I've still got some on my palette knife. I'm going to go over that orange. A bit more yellow. I'm going to place it on top of the orange and then I'm going to scrape it through. Sometimes the yellow will win, sometimes the orange will win. Put the yellow there. Clean off my palette knife. I'm having so much fun with this today, guys. Add some brightness. Do you like that touch of yellow? I like that touch of yellow. Over here. There we go. And a bit more of this red. I want some more red. The red, yellow and orange. Obviously a complementary. That's something to think about, whether you want in your abstract painting colours that complement each other or colours that are opposite on the colour wheel. If you haven't got a colour wheel, you should get yourself one. I'm looking for mine as we speak. It's around here somewhere. A colour wheel will help you make decisions on whether you want... That's really odd. I saw it earlier, guys, but yeah. Just look at whether you want colours that are next to each other on the colour wheel, so they're complementary, or you want things that are opposing. So I'm going to bring some opposing colour in now with the turquoise. There's orange and blue are opposites on the colour wheel. And I want some real strong turquoise coming in. I'm going to place that there. I'm going to place some here. And then I'm going to swoop them over there. I think the turquoise and that red are going to work really well. I'm going to have something going on down here. Okay. Now I'm going to take my knife. I might switch my knife. I'm going to go bigger. Okay, what I need now is some white. I need my lights to come in. Picking up some white. Bring in some light areas in before I add my geometry. So looking for some white here. I'm getting very mucky here. I love it. I love getting very mucky. I'm going to tap some into that black there. We're going to lose our bird's nest in a minute. And I'm going to scrape that through. Okay, up here it's gone a little bit muddy with the black, so I'm just going to bring some strong orange and some strong red back just to get that colour back in there. Lovely. I need something going on down here. I'm going to bring some orange with this turquoise and a bit of black. A bit more turquoise. Okay, I need some more yellow. Are you with me on this, guys? 21 of you now. So abstract is appealing all of a sudden. I'm going to pick up some more yellow and orange, and I'm going to take this up here. Let's get some more tissue. Working the two colours together is really cool. My dog's sitting on the windowsill just behind where this easel is, thinking, am I going to get some of this paint on me in a moment? And the likelihood is, yes, he is. So I'm going to have a white Jack Russell with orange stripes. I'm going to bring a bit of blue in. I'm just standing looking, thinking, as I say, there's no particular plan to this other than using similar colours to those that I've used before. A bit more yellow ochre down here. A bit of balance up here. Now, you could, if you wanted, go into some of these colours and blend them out. So I could go into this ochre that I've just put up here, take my medium brush and blend some of that out. You don't have to stick with harsh marks. You can blend some of these down. So you could take this blue turquoise over here and blend that. Even though your background's dry, you can create this softer. You could pick up a bit of this blue and sweep it along. You see that? And then blend the edge out. So it doesn't all have to be the palette knife work. I've kind of lost my swoop there, so I'm just going to go back in with a bit of white. My swoosh, not my swoop. What am I thinking? There we go. I like the boldness of the palette knife, but this bit here looks lovely and soft. So I might take the opposite side. In fact, I will. I'm going to go into that ochre and I'm going to blend that out a little. And literally just go in with what I think at the time. A bit more yellow ochre. And just work that through, work that out. I'm going to wet my brush a little more and really work into this ochre. I want it to fade out, blend out, a bit more water. Because I'm working wet over dry, you can't blend your colour, but you can extend the colour and pull that out. That's whoosh there, but it needs some white. So I'm going to bring a white streak into it. A bird on a buoy on a reflective sunny sea. Ah, love it. I'm getting carried away over this section here. You can tell me to stop. I'm just bringing some black back in. Go for my bigger brush or I'll be here all day. Darkening this corner down. I kind of lost it down here, don't you think? So I'm going to pull it back. Don't worry. Do not worry. That's quite nice. I like that. I like that contrasting colour. I'm going to add a bit more blue to it though. There. Leave it alone, Eunice. I can hear myself telling myself to leave it alone. Okay, now, so I could carry on playing with that, adding more colour. At this stage, I think there's quite a nice balance. There's a turquoise I could do with, maybe a bit more turquoise down here that I did have and I blended it out. Now I can see why I had it there for balance. And I need a bit more yellow up this side. So I'm just going to take my cad yellow medium. Make sure I wipe my palette knife off this time. I'm going to bring a bit of this. Ooh! Yeah, I like that. I'm going to have myself a bit more of that cad yellow. Cadmium yellow, this one, guys, that I'm putting on. It's a bit stronger than the primary yellow, a bit more orangey. I think it works nicely with this orange, so just bring some of that through here. I've sat at home watching these types of videos on YouTube and shouted at the artists and stop, leave it, it's nice as it is. I wonder into myself, are you saying that now? Are you sat at home saying, stop, I like that bit, leave it? You could bring your knife through your colours and create some scratching. So I'm just using the edge of my knife coming through to emphasise this sense of movement, and all that's doing, can you see that? It's just cutting through the paint and revealing the background colour, adding some more movement to it in a different way. It's like scratching into the surface. And up here. There we go, that's enough. I'm not going to scratch anymore before you all start panicking. Okay, geometry. Now, in an ideal world, you would wait for your canvas to dry before you start going into the geometry. But I haven't got the privilege of doing that, so I'm going to have to just be very careful. So I love the swoosh, but I like the fact, and what I'm going to do, just grab this. If you look at what I did in this previous one, is bring these spikes and then blend some colour down these spikes. So here, I'm not sure if you can see with the glare of... So this is what I'm going to try and do. You can do this using masking tape. So once your painting's dry, you could lay some masking down and then just paint your swords. With wind in her hair. Oh, wow. We're seeing lots of things. I'm loving the colours, though. Aren't you loving these colours? Okay, so I'm going to scrape my knife. Well, I'm going to dip my knife into my black paint. Just going to take the edge of my knife through the black paint. Okay. I'm going to use my brush. Whoops. I will use my brush when I find it. I'm going to take off the excess paint with my brush. Oops, I just flipped my canvas. Did you see that? Okay. So I just have a line. Now, this is where I need to make sure I've got it straight. I'm going to come from this black area here. I'm going to place my knife. Just push it on. Give it a little rock backwards and forwards to create my line. Go in again, drag it down. Okay, and again I'm going to have one here. Let's drag my knife up and down, create these. Just going to drop a bit more black there to play with. Come down. Okay, now I really am making a mess. If you can see the desk situation under where I'm working, you wouldn't believe it. Right, let me clean my brush off completely. Get rid of all this muck. Okay, now I want the white. So I really want my brush clean. I don't want no greys, I want white. 17 of you still playing along. Excellent. I'm going to get my smaller brush actually. Excuse me while I lean over. And get a smaller brush. Much smaller brush. Okay. I'm going to come in to the left hand side with some white. Now because my paint underneath is still very wet, I need to be careful. Particularly into this thick black here. Take this in, and now I'm going to blend it out. I just need to wet that a bit more. Go in with a little bit more white and blend it out. So I'm really emphasizing this straight line here. And actually I quite like this bit that's happening here. Just be careful not to get my hand on my work. Let me just get my stick. I can't find anything in my studio today. Aha, I've got my stick. I'm just going to use this to rest my hand on. To bring this white along that line as well. I quite like that. I just saw it and I thought, you know, that'll look nice, that will work well. So I'm going back into my white again, just strengthening that colour. This real bold, completely opposite to the rest of the painting. Just soften that edge. Yes. Now that definitely looks like some kind of a sow, doesn't it? I'm just going to strengthen the black down here too. My line's not very crisp. We'll just strengthen that up. And I'll do the same down here. I'm going to bring some white. Are we liking this, guys? Is this something that you're going to have a go at? I think you should. I'd really like to see what you come up with. Again, I'm going to bring the white down the side of this spike that I've created. And now I want some sideways movement. Hey Pam, it is fun. I'm just going to pull the white out to the side this time. Rather than blend it in, I'm going to just pull that out. I like that better than that, so I might do the same up there. Go into the white a bit stronger, a bit thicker. Come along that line and just pull out. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do the same up here. I'm going to put some more white on here. Get rid of the excess and pull it out to the side. I want to leave my brush marks showing. Nice. And you could do that with the other colours. It doesn't just have to be those. In fact, I might take some of this orange and come in the other side down here. The camera's slightly in my way, so I'm having to reach round. I'm going to drop some orange down this side of that spike and pull that in. Yay, I like that. I like. Now I'm going to do the same up here. I like something, I want to repeat it. I'm going to drop that orange. I told you this is just evolving. Just what I'm seeing. Just going with the flow. Can you see how those geometry lines, there's another line over here, guys, that has just happened just by a sheer accident here. I'm going to emphasize more. Just get rid of that extra black. Just happened when I was using the palette knife. Create that, bring that through, take it through that one as well. There we go. And same thing. Clean my brush off. I could do this all day. You're trying to paint along and it's a real mess. Oh, Joy. Don't try and keep up. Do your own pace. This is where people are going wrong. Just don't overwork it. And I'm going to bring some blue this side. Tap the blue in. There we go. I'm going to make my black line a bit stronger. Do we like? Mandy's watching. Mandy, this is right up your street. Right up your street. How's your fun, my lovely? Is it getting better? I'm just going to bring another diagonal out the head of this lady on the boat. I've ruined your boat scene now, guys, that you were seeing. I'm just going to sweep this black, just the black to one side. I just love having this contrast of the straight lines with the chaos that's below. And I'm going to bring a bit of white back in there as well. There we go. I don't want to overdo that. Just going to drag a bit of orange through here. Back to my palette knife, just add in some last tweaks. A bit more of this turquoise coming off of there. A bit more white, taking that on the palette knife and scraping that through there. There we go. A bit more flash of white there. I just felt it needed a bit of highlight there. Some orange and some of this lovely yellow. Last bit, I promise. Then you can all relax. You can all relax and say, oh, thank goodness she stopped. It's too stressful to watch. Okay, I like that. I'm happy with what's happened on my canvas today. The art gods were on my side, I think. What do you think? You're the judges. Would you buy a piece of work like this? Do you want to buy a piece of work like this? It's for sale as of now. So, Joy, what's gone wrong with yours? Tell me, my love. Okay, so that's it for today. I want you to get your acrylics out and have some fun before you go. And I'm only pushing this because I think it's for the good of the NHS. This is the little bird that I created, the nightingale, the other day. I'm going to turn that camera out of the sun. This is my little nightingale. Been produced on a mug. So you can have the bird on both sides, or you can have a message put on the back. So this one says Key Worker 2020. So you just choose when you go on the website whether you want the image on both sides or if you want a special message for someone on the back. Okay, so this was a little watercolour now. £3 of every mug that I sell will be going to the NHS to support them with the equipment that they need. So do pop over to my website if you're interested, or if you know somebody that is, direct them that way. Thank you so much. I'm going to come into shop now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for playing along with me today. And I hope you enjoyed the making of this painting. Thanks, guys. Have a lovely afternoon. Joy, let me know if you're going to be around tomorrow, because I'd like to do that little Spanish scene you sent me. Yeah, just drop me a message and let me know if you'll be around. What day would be best for you to do paint along on the Spanish scene? And I'll see you all soon. Thank you. Bye.